What is going on, guys? Welcome to Test This Tech and the Retroid Pocket 6. The specifications have been announced, and I believe you should be able to start doing your pre orders. I want to say tonight, if not tomorrow, when it comes to the Retroid Pocket 6. So, some information here. This is actually from Ryan Retro's post on YouTube. So, shout out to Ryan Retro. I think he released the information. At least I got it on my phone first, and then Retroid Handhelds released the information as well. Those are the first two sources that I caught wind of. But basically, there's two SKUs here for the Retroid Pocket 6. So you're gonna have one that has a different chipset that we're accustomed to. It's the G2 Gen 2, which is supposedly a little less powerful than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. It does have Wi-Fi 7 compatibility, which is really exciting to hear just because, we're already accustomed from Wi-Fi 7 from the Odin 2, the Odin 2 Portal. I want to say the AYN Thor even has Wi-Fi 7 as well. So great to see that, especially if you want to do some streaming. That is where you want to go. That is, one of the fastest Wi-Fi chips out there. So when it comes to the G2 Gen 2 model, it looks like it's going to be $199 for the first 2 weeks when you pre-order, and it looks like it's going to be shipping this week if you decide to do it. So there's an early bird here, which is pretty crazy. And then as far as for the standardized Retroid Pocket 6, it's going to have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Once again, the chip that we're all accustomed to from the Odin 2, um, the Odin 2 Portal, and whatnot. So I think the AY and Thor as well, those upper SKUs there. So good stuff there. Obviously, a very compatible chip. And it's supposed to have a 120 hertz screen, which is really nice to see as well. I mean, the screen on the Retro Pocket 5 was just brilliant. So to have a 120 hertz screen, man, that's going to be really sweet. It's going to be really sweet for a lot of games. One of the nice features too that I see is that there's going to be a 12 gigabyte RAM SKU model for the pre-order for the Retroid Pocket 6 for the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, I believe, for that particular model. I highly recommend getting 12 gigs of RAM just because if you are considering doing a myriad of things, not just the retro gaming emulation. When it comes to like PS2, GameCube, 3DS, or Switch. But if you also want to consider doing Game Hub Win Later type stuff, you're going to need as much RAM as you can to have really solid stability and performance to help with that GPU and CPU. So the 12 gigs of RAM, I think that should be the first one. It's probably going to be one of the first ones to go, honestly, because for those who know, it's going to be the first one. So definitely consider that one. I believe it's also going to have Wi-Fi 7. One thing that I saw here, and this information I'm about to say is from retroidhandhelds.gg. Andrew wrote the article, so shout out to Andrew. He noted that the G2 model is going to have Android 15, while the Retro Pocket 6 is going to have Android 13. So if that's true, that's very interesting. I don't know why they would make that decision. But yeah, interesting. So it just seems like a souped up model, a better model than the Retroid Pocket 5. And honestly, I think that's a pretty smart decision just because I feel like the Retroid Pocket 5, I think the Flip 2 was selling very well, and then there was that fiasco, and I think just the sales kind of went down. People were skeptical, weren't sure as far as like the hinges breaking, which I feel like it was blown out of proportion. I don't think hinges were breaking as crazy as we all thought. But now, the Retro Pocket 5, though, that one's been selling, very well, I mean, just across the board. So re upping that one in midst of everything and then having it at that low price point I think is really cool, and I think it's a pretty smart decision. So they're going for what they know. The G2 Gen 2 is an interesting decision. I would say if you want to save the $20, consider that. But I think also it all depends on what are you using it for? Are you using it for a myriad of cases? Because if you are, just get the Redford Pocket 6 Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 model. Try to get that 12 gigabytes of RAM model as well. It's just going to be an overall better decision. One nice thing too is that it doesn't seem like it's a different type of UFS solid state storage on the handhelds. It looks like it's going to be the UFS. I think it's the 3.2, which is fast, very fast. So I mean, when it comes to boot times, things like that, or the Retroid Pocket 5, very speedy, very speedy. So that is really nice to see as well. That it's going to have that same source. I kind of wish it was 4.0 UFS 4.0, just because even the even the RG477M had UFS 4.0. The 557 had UFS 4.0, but it's kind of a different ball game because those chipsets are completely different comparative to Retroid stuff. So wanted to let you guys know, or at least drop the knowledge, as you probably are starting to figure that out. But go for it. Go for it. I'll put a link into the description. It's not an affiliate link. I don't have an affiliate link for that one, but I'll leave the information so you can go to the website once it's available to pre-order. But again, J Pilot Test This Tech. I'll catch you guys next video. Thanks a lot.